Wow, people wey suppose talk true to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call am hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Touchlight every corner. Oh, yeah, yeah. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo.
Very Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Thank you very much for joining me. This is Maiyegun Live. Yes. Yeah, good evening to every one of you from wherever you're watching from. Again, this is Maiyegun Live. I have, for those who have been waiting, possibly they have been reading the caption of the broadcast. You can, you can make your own contribution accordingly in the comment section because, like someone said, it is going to be hot tonight. It is always hot on Maiyegun's diary. You just need to spend some time with us. If this is your first time, you are welcome. And thank you for joining me. Share this broadcast before you get settled. Click that like, that thumb up. Give that to me before you get settled into this. So I've been questioning myself, especially when the news broke about Nigeria planning to borrow money from China to build a train to Maradi in Niger Republic. Some of you have heard lots of stories. You have heard lots of exposés about why is Buhari more interested in constructing train to Niger Republic, which is a country of 22, 23 million people. The size of the population size, by the way, no more than that of people of Lagos State. Okay, so and not construct a train that will move containers from Apapa Wharf down to the heart of Niger Delta or down to the heart of eastern Nigeria, where we have majority of the importers in Nigeria from the eastern part of billionaires who are investing in importation in Nigeria. Why can't Nigeria government? Why is this difficult to build a train from Lagos State, where they have refused to develop other seaports that could probably have eased the tension or the all these delays at Apapa in Lagos? Hang on, I'm having a hang here. Thank you very much, and sorry about that. Once in a while, you can always have that little glitch, yeah? Thank you. Now, why is this so? Because every time they accuse people who are telling them, asking them to do the right thing, since they cannot do the right thing, it is better everybody parts ways. So some of them you agree, some of them you agree with them, some of them you don't agree with them. But when you look at it critically and you ask yourself some critical questions, personal questions, I call them rhetorical questions, questions that you know the answer to, but you just need to ask yourself, like, why not? Why? But we know why. We just want to put it forward to you that whatever they continue to do there, as you continue to indulge them, as they continue to borrow to do all of these misplaced projects, borrowed money spent on misplaced project that would never bring any value, right, to Niger Republic. Then I saw yesterday when Bukwari was put on camera for some minutes, and he was celebrating the milestone that the Chinese are going to borrow them about $6 billion, dollars. They have borrowed them up to $6 billion already. So now they are going to borrow them another $1.96 billion dollars to construct a train to an economy or to a country that only had just 50 million, between 50 and 70 million dollars to Nigeria. That's the only thing they buy from Nigeria or spend their money on in Nigeria, $50 million. So Nigeria go there to invest Nigeria money in there, build refineries that they have failed to build in Nigeria. They have built them in Niger Republic, not because they are going to be importing substantial amount of refined crude. No. It is so ridiculous that you get to know more. But they don't have any money to do it. They are borrowing money. And those people who are doing legitimate business in Nigeria, they are those that will pay for that loan, even though their own businesses will continue to suffer on the terrible bad roads that they will never construct or repair. But they were able to go to China to go and borrow $1.96 billion to construct rail line to an economy that gives them $50 million every year. And they are leaving behind the normal routes that could have given them that money back times 5 of the money they want to borrow if they construct a direct train from Lagos, Apapa, straight down to Aba, to Onitsha, straight across down to Niger Delta. There are businesses there that will become alive. There will be some decongestion, or natural decongestion of Lagos State will just happen naturally, and probably everybody will live in peace thereafter. That route alone, our Igbo brothers who are applying the applying all the international routes to bring in businesses and importation to Nigeria. Nigeria is import-run economy. As much as politicians will continue to brag on empty promises of what they would do, how they are fixing policies and fixing the Igbo men and women who are international businessmen, those who actually move billions of dollars that the economy knows about. You know about them. These are the people that really brings in real money into that economy in Nigeria, when your politicians continue to strangulate their businesses by dubious, ridiculous policies. But they could still have paid that money back within a year if they build a train from Lagos State straight down to Onitsha, straight down to Aba. They will make that money back within a year. They will even make times 5 of that money within a year, because that's a route where they spent over $10 billion investment. I'm just being average. a year, the businesses that they transact between Apapa in Lagos to Onitsha, to Aba, to all this part of the eastern Nigeria, you know them, you know about it. So many people have become multi-millionaire because they are into haulage businesses in Lagos. Ask them, who are their customers? Who are those who they carry containers for? They will tell you Emeka, they will tell you about Uche, they will tell you about these guys with thousands of containers every week that they have to move to Nigeria and move from Lagos down to the east. Imagine it. Won't it, isn't that there's nobody that has economic sense? You have a country where your youth are battling with unemployment in a very, very bigger form right now, okay? Unemployment in Nigeria has increased by over 200%. From 13 million unemployed Nigerians in 2015, it has jumped now to 33 million, and it is growing. And those are the ones they actually put the figures on and you know what I'm talking about. Imagine what that would change. Imagine what will change. Like what is about to change, what they are doing in Lagos. Look at that route. Lagos, Ibadan. Lagos, Ogun. Ibadan route, and then they are building that on. They borrowed money to do it, Abi. Eventually, people are going to pay that money back, even though, like all the other dubious contracts that politicians entered into. I'm talking to you right now, like, let's reason together, like, if they are borrowing money in your name, and this borrowing is affecting your own standard of living, because you may not know, if you are living in Nigeria, your standard of living has been cut by over 400%. What you are living with right now is below standard of human living, even when you think you have money. Do you get that now? They have devalued your currency by over 400%. That's a lot. And there's no country that comes back so easily from any devaluation like that. 2%, 3%, UK, this UK, they have to devalue their pounds. Because of this coronavirus, they devalued pounds by something 0.something%. You need to see how the economists are discussing that here. They were even discussing the shame the devaluation is going to bring to pound sterling. And I'm just sitting there watching them on TV like, look at this ones. You are devaluing pounds by something %, which is significant according to them. We are all going to feel it. And we are all feeling it in the UK. Something that is not even up to 1% devaluation. But in Nigeria, they devalue your naira. They devalued it beyond anything. A naira to a dollar is about 460%. Let me tell you what I mean. If you put a pound and a dollar together right now, a pound will still have this extra bros on top the dollar. If you say $1, you will never say, if you put $1, if you put £1, you will never put $1 beside a pound. There must be some extra cent. If you are not careful, that dollar may become 2 to stand beside that £1. So every time an English businessman knows the value of his pounds, if you are an American man, if you want to trade with us, now as an Englishman, you know the advantage you have with your business and your currency against the dollar. So see that advantage. But as a Nigerian, when you have to put $1 here, you know how many naira you have to put beside it before they can stand beside a dollar. That is exactly how they devalued your naira. Now, devaluing your naira means those who are importing and bringing businesses to Nigeria, with the way the economy has been destroyed, you will continue to rely on importing almost everything. Now, you see those who are importing things, they are businessmen, okay? Because your naira is so devalued, now before they can transact with outside world, they have to make sure that every naira they have to hold must be able to stand beside the currency they want to fight with. And as a dollar, $1, you need 460 naira. Now imagine if you need $100 million, or if you need $1 billion to run your business. How good would it be if you have a powerful currency? Your currency is your identity. Since we are where we are and you can deal with that, it's going to get worse, right? Your currency should have been your power, and you as a businessman, now think about it. How many naira do you think it's going to take you to get $1 and $1 billion? Now you have to still do that business anyway and bring it to economy, and you have to compare all your expenses, everything that involves in your business. Their government is waiting to rob you when you even bring it to Nigeria. Okay. Now, devalued currency means for you to be able to afford normal basic things that are just supposed to be normal. You will have to struggle and hustle to get them. Do you get that now? So you as a businessman, you have been disadvantaged by 460%. If you are in Nigeria and you want to do a business with an Englishman, I live in the UK, or you want to do a business with a Scottish man, right? And you are holding your naira, and I'm holding my pounds. I'm going to tell you, do you know how much of that naira you will need to be able to afford my £1? And if you are a businessman, you will know what you are going to lose. Imagine if you have an advantage that 1 naira is $1, and you want to do $1 billion business, which means you need $1 billion naira. Just 1 billion naira, you do $1 billion business. Valuable, valued, you are respected. But politicians don't care because they are not interested in that naira. The naira can be devalued as much as possible. They can print money or charge you some taxes, okay, or borrow money. Once they take that money away, they don't care how much they change the naira because they don't work for them. They don't work for the money. So they can just steal it, take it to Dubai. When they get to Dubai, they say, oh, how much is this property? They say, that's $100 million. Oh, $100 million. Okay. All of these blocks everywhere, other place, all this, $100 million. So, okay. He knows that he's not going to pay 100 million naira for that $100 million property because he didn't work for the money. He stole it. He can easily just call his bank and say, convert that naira, billions that I have, convert it to dollars. How much is that? They will say, okay, $100 million, so billion naira. You say, okay, yeah, transfer it to them. That's it. But you as a businessman who needs to help that economy, who is creating job, paying tax, you will know the difference between that value more. And these people are the people that need the help, that can make their businesses even more convenient and profitable. The economy will boom. People will get more jobs. Imagine a maker that is bringing something from, imagine, Anayo that is bringing container, 30 containers. That is what over $40 million. Went through all the rigmarole exchange rate. Is being cheated already. Before he even went into that business, he has been cheated by the percentage of the money you want to take into that business. And the people who want to go into business, he's been cheated. So if you exchange your naira for 400 naira, you have been cheated by 400%. So before you even get into the business, you're already losing. So where are you going to get it from? You have to get it from the people that will manage to patronize you. Those people too, they have to go through, do you get that? They have to go through hardship to be able to afford what you are going to sell it to them for. And that is where the role of government comes in. The government should make it easier for you. You are helping them because by doing your business, you are paying taxes, which will pay for their own feeding. We'll buy them new cars, we'll buy them new clothes, okay? They will renovate their houses because you are paying taxes, okay? You're also helping them as well, employing people that could have turned to crime because you have business and you need hands. You employ people, you pay them, they take care of their families, and that is the chain of how, how wealth is recycled, is shared. Government comes in, makes your business easier for you, and then you help the economy, create jobs, and that's how it should be. But that is not in Nigeria. The end user, which is you, that will be shouting, I agree with them, I agree with them. You, the end user, will be the one that will feel the brunt. Everybody is struggling through it. Why can't they make it easier? I mean, but you see Biafrans and they say, we want to leave. You need to sit down and digest some certain things. Ask yourself some personal questions. Why is it so difficult? If they could sit together and put together an idea and say, Maradi is more profitable than Aba, than Onitsha, than Portharcourt. Does that really reflect the people who want to make things work? The only thing we bring about from Niger Republic, I had to go and read a bit about this. Do you know the major thing we import from Niger Republic? Cattle, cows, livestock, entire livestock. And that is why there is no major investment in them. I'm talking about those ones that came legit, those who went to Niger Republic and they paid money and they bought cows and they brought them to Nigeria. Do you get that now? Those ones are different too. Those are the ones on record that they say, okay, between all of the trade, $50 million. Those who walk through the Porous border, the border that nobody guards, there is no custom, there is no border in northern Nigeria that you can say, okay, if there are borders, how come these guys are strolling in, strolling out, and nobody is arrested or prosecuted for committing any crime, or because they were registered at the border when they came in? Because there are no borders. Everybody walks in, everybody walks out. So what are they telling us? That they want to build train to a place that will give them $50 million, or let's even say $100 million. Or meanwhile, they want to spend $1.96 billion to build that. What is the economic value? Ask yourself. And when people say we want to leave, ask yourself that, are they asking for too much? Because it seems that you need some special spirit, this special something to go and speak to these guys and reason well, like, oh boy, if we borrow 1.9 billion, and construct, okay, let's even say, what is the kilometer between Lagos and Aba? Let's put that at 200 kilometers. Yeah, which is pretty much not up to double. Let's say 200. And the train they want to construct from Kano to Daura, that's Katsina, to Maradi in Niger Republic is 94 kilometers. So 94 kilometers, so 200. So let's say that is times 2. Let's say it will cost them $4 billion or $5 billion to build straight train that can pick 500, 1,000 containers from Apapa, put them on the train, save the road, and move them down to the east every day, back and forth. And imagine what will happen at that moment. $5 billion, borrow $5 billion and put it there. Because that route alone, where they are using truck now, all of them turning over before they even get to their destination, right? That economy alone is still worth averagely $10 billion annually in what they bring into Nigeria. So if you borrow $5 billion to construct that, even let's say 200 kilometers, I'm going to check it just to have it on record. What is the kilometer between? But before then, the House of Assembly, the National Assembly said they started probing the conditions that Amaechi agreed to with the Chinese in the name of Nigeria. Niger Republic is not going to pay a dime for this construction, for this money, or anything at all, okay? Nigeria will pay every dime. All of you, will pay every dime of that borrowing, okay? They will devalue the Naira more. You know what I'm talking? So the National Assembly were probing it. Do you know what Amaechi told them? He said, let us be careful with all this probe. Let China give us the money first. Then you can start probing after that. But before I play Amaechi's video, I want you to listen to Bukwari. It may be traumatizing watching him, but I just have to have it on record. Celebrating which one should go first? Let's watch Amaechi first. Then we can come back to Bukwari because they finally got the approval they needed, and now the construction has been, have started. But let's go to National Assembly quickly.
Question 4, Honorable Minister. Article 16(2) stated, at all times and for the avoidance of doubt, the contractor shall comply with Nigerian federal or state laws, the Executive Order 003 of 2017 titled Executive Order on Support of Local Content in Public Procurement by the federal government, May 18, 2017, regulations and policies in relation to the promotion and enforcement of local content provisions in the execution of projects, whether specifically mentioned in this agreement or otherwise. Can you provide us with details of how the contractors have materially complied with these provisions?
Mr. Chairman, I hope you're not repeating yourself. And let me tell why I say I hope you're not repeating yourself. You asked me to bring the names of those who have been employed, who are Nigerians. That's local content. You asked me to bring the names of those they have sublet contract to. That's local content. Unless you want to be the general contractor, in which case it's no longer local content.
I don't think that's...
Can you repeat your question? Can you repeat your question?
That shouldn't be your response at all.
Can you repeat your question? You said I should provide you with documents to show local content. You have earlier asked me to provide you with workers who are Nigerians, and I said tomorrow morning.
Is that the only local content?
Can you hold on, sir? When you said I should provide you with that, I said tomorrow. You asked me to provide you with the contractors who are Nigerians who are doing contract there. I said tomorrow I will ask the company to provide you with that. So the top question you're repeating is that you're repeating those two questions, sir.
Honorable Ministers, I said, can you provide us with details of how the contractors have complied materially with these provisions? Now, there are provisions in the contract agreements. If you are taking local content, has those contractors complied with it? It's a question of supervisions on those critical areas. If we also want to know the quality of what that project being executed in line with the specification.
Maybe the House needs to appoint a supervising engineer. For us in Ministry of Transport, we are convinced about the quality. Nigerians are using the rail going to Kaduna from Abuja. Very soon in September, we'll begin to use the one from Lagos to Ibadan. If the committee is in doubt of the quality of work, we'll be glad if you appoint a supervising engineering company that can come and find out that it's part of oversight function, Mr. Chairman.
It's okay for shielding the responsibility of the executive to the legislators. We'll see to it, and we'll also use it to rate the executive whether they are actually working in lines with the specification that are provided. We'll do that. We'll make that recommendations. Your question 5. In Addendum 2A, page 3 and 4 on the Lagos-Ibadan segment of the railway modernization project worth over $1.5 billion, signed on 22nd of December 2016. The contract agreement was signed by you and witnessed by one I.J. Uche Okoro, who simply identified himself as a civil servant without a designation and addressed as Federal Minister of Transport. Who is this I.J. Uche Okoro, and what is his official designation, stroke rank in the ministry?
Mr. Chairman, as a former member of the House, I'm trying hard to manage what I say so that nobody will say I'm bringing the House to ridicule. Mr. Chairman, the person who signed the paper is a civil servant. And Director of Legal is a civil servant. Who is the Permanent Secretary here? Is that not? So what does he want?
Is the man a Director of Legal?
She is a Director of Legal.
She's a Director of Legal. She didn't sign it as a Director of Legal.
If she signs as a civil servant, has she contravened the law, sir?
Any other person can sign as a civil servant.
Did they
but we must know who is
Mr. Chairman,
designated
did they tell you the class of person that will sign? They didn't. They didn't say the witness must be a director or the witness must be a governor.
So you will not take a messenger to sign your document?
Well, it's the law. It's the law you pass.
Which law? Can you
The one you pass. So no, there's no law that said it must be.
Can you provide us with the law?
Is there a law that says it must be?
the ministers, you have gone to sign because a minister representing that ministry.
Mr. Chairman, I could refuse to go, and any other person could have signed on our behalf.
So any other person from your ministry can go and sign without your authority?
I could designate,
No,
I could delegate it to anybody to sign.
You can delegate?
Yes, sir.
Because you have a portfolio, so you cannot delegate. Now,
Yes,
who did you delegate this position? For us to be able to attach that document to an officer who signed that document,
okay, Mr. Chairman.
You must define the particular, the designation of such officer.
Mr. Chairman.
In respect of these questions I'm asking, can any member please, if you have a question, you can. If you have a question to answer, to ask, please, you can. This is Addendum 2A. Page 1 and 2. We also observed the commercial contract made a lot of reference to another commercial agreement identified as Addendum 2, which was said to have been signed on 28 August 2012. Please, Honorable Minister, can you provide us with the detail of the Addendum 2 contract agreements from where you made variations? From where you made variations to sign revised contract for Addendum 2A.
Mr. Chairman, one of the responsibilities of the House is to appoint for you legislative assistants. Is that not true? Please, sir, ask the legislative assistant to read our booklet. You will see Addendum 2. Addendum 2.
Mr. Honorable Minister, I took time to go through your documents. I took time. And if that page is not available here in the document you provided.
Sorry, what's going on? Speaker, sit here. Let's speak or sit here. Come on. Come on. Come on, you can sit here. Gentlemen, please, can we just take a break for about 10 to 15 minutes, please? Let's take a break for 10 to 15 minutes.
They were probing all the signed agreement with China. And Amaechi didn't want to. He was like, let's stop all this. There's a part of that I don't want to go into too much. Some of you have seen the video anyway. So it was then that it was stated in that contract that if Nigeria failed to pay back the loan, that China would take over the Lagos-Ibadan train line. They would take that over. They would take over Apapa Sea Wharf, Apapa Seaport, all right, until they make their money that they have borrowed Nigeria. It is laughable. And Amaechi was like, we only put it there. That is just insignificant. But today, they have managed to get that passed. And Bukwari had this to say.
I'm delighted to preside over the groundbreaking ceremony for commencement of the construction of yet another vital transportation infrastructure. The rail line that traverses the major commercial and administrative center of Kano and passes through other economic hubs of the country, including Kazaure, Daura, Katsina, and up to the border town of Jibia and Niger Republic city of Maradi. The cities of Jibia and Maradi constitute a significant trading core between Nigeria and Niger Republic, a tradition dating back many centuries. This vital infrastructure line will establish an end-to-end logistics supply chain in railway transport services between northern and southern regions of the country, reaching Nigerian southern ports of Lagos and Warri. The entire route encompasses territory inhabited by close to 80 million people across 10 states of the country. This project has a branch line to Dutse, the capital of Jigawa State, to open up this corridor, which is endowed with vast resources. The Kano-Maradi rail line has been identified as a viable line that will significantly enhance the movement of passengers and freight to the hinterland, especially raw materials from both agricultural and mineral resources for our industries. The project, when completed, would serve import and export of goods for Niger Republic and other countries in the sub-region through Nigerian ports. The country would earn revenue through expansion of trade and commerce, while the people of Niger Republic will benefit from ease of transportation, logistics at affordable cost in their import and export businesses. The connection to Niger Republic through rail will also foster trans-Sahara trade and contribute to the expected gains in the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. The construction company handling this project, Messrs. Motor Angel Nigeria Limited, is supporting knowledge and technology transfer by investing in the establishment of a learning institution for transportation and railway science. This is commendable. Distinguished guests, this admiration in clear recognition of the challenges posed to our economic growth by absence of strong and effective infrastructure has remained consistent in her effort at closing this gap. We have, in the rail sector, embarked on the completion of the 1,424 kilometers Lagos to Kano rail line to join the one being flagged off today for the country's western axis. On the eastern corridor of the country, the Portharcourt, Enugu, Makadi, Maiduguri rail line, with branches to Owerri, Imo State, and Damaturu, Yobe State, have been awarded for reconstruction to include a deep sea port in Bonny Island and a railway industrial park in Portharcourt, with the objectives of achieving a vibrant and functional railway infrastructure in the eastern part of the country. The Federal Ministry of Transportation and Ministry of Finance have been directed to vigorously act on engagement and concluding financial arrangement with appropriate co-financers to partner with the federal government for the development of the West-East Coast Rail Line from Lagos to Calabar and linking Onitsha, Benin, Warri, Yenagoa, Portharcourt, Aba, and Uyo. Furthermore, contract for the important Central Railway traversing Itape, Baro, Abuja, with connection to Lokoja, and a new seaport in Warri has been signed and is expected to achieve appreciable level of completion during the tenure of this administration. Distinguished guests, I believe when all these initiatives of our administration are realized, the country would have overcome the infrastructural deficiency in the transportation sector. Businesses will be able to take full advantage of availability of an affordable and effective transportation backbone that can transform industrial and economic activity to a higher level. I also enjoin our private sectors to invest and participate in the realization of these very promising economic opportunities. I now have the honor to perform the groundbreaking ceremony for the Kano Maradi standard gauge rail line and direct the Honorable Minister of Transportation to flag off the project. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
You know that is a job, right? They added all those extended promises. The rest of this, Etakwe, Warri, Calabar, all these areas were in their campaigns in 2015, 2019. In fact, they were busy doing what they called Ogoni cleanup. And Oshibaju came out and he said they have paid $2 billion to the people that are going to do Ogoni cleanup. You remember all of that? But the question is, why is Kano to Maradi, Niger Republic, more important than Lagos to that Aba and Calabar now? That Nigeria is struggling, no money, borrowing here and there. Why is Niger Republic more important? I'm coming. I'm working on something. Yeah. But before I get there, before I put that on, yeah, I'm going to go and put you on this little break. It is the latest news which is trending that they are easily denying. When I get back, I'm going to click you and hook you up on something before we proceed. Watch this.
I have the mandate to mobilize, to sensitize, to educate, and woo Nigerians into the party, irrespective of their background. Our brother and friend, Chief Femi Fani Kayode, has joined our party in good faith. For the youth. He is joining our party to come and add his own positive energy and make contribution into ensuring that APC is a party to beat. Remember, Chief Femi Fani Kayode is a foundation member, was a foundation member of this great party. Due to misunderstanding, he decided to port elsewhere before. Now he has decided to join our party, approached me, and by the mandate given to me by the party, I must not segregate. I must not discriminate against any individual.
I'm still coming to that because I have something I want to share with you on that. But I'm also coming back to this question. Why I leave you with that question of why is Maradi more important that they have to borrow money for Maradi? But I also have this particular clip I'm going to share with you. Okay, it is about the insecurity. Mohammed came out and he said they asked him a question about the state of the nation on AIT yesterday. And he was comparing, they asked him about the Fulani terrorists. And Mohammed was comparing Fulani terrorists as advanced armed robbers, that they are not terrorists, but IPOB. Because IPOB, because they don't recognize Nigerian government. So APC government knows that the Biafrans don't recognize them as, because that is why they are treating them the way they are treating them, like they are not human beings. Meanwhile, they are asking Mohammed that you classify them as terrorists. But Fulani herdsmen, look at what they are doing. Mohammed, that some of you think is actually smart, is not a smart person. You need to sit closer to these guys. You realize that they are not smart people. They are dense and God. But I'm going to have you listen to this first video. Then after that, I'm going to have you listen to Mohammed. Then we'll take it on from there again. So I want this shared simply because this is a detailed conversation about a Fulani terrorist by the people who are members of APC themselves at the National Assembly. It is a reminder before I play you the video where Liar Mohammed called IPOB members terrorists because they don't recognize Buhari. For Fulani terrorists, he called them advanced armed robbers who can only just steal. They just steal and then they kill. But IPOB members don't recognize government, so they are the terrorists. Those who steal and kill, they are not terrorists. They are just advanced armed robbers. That is what Liar Mohammed said. But you need to listen to how he said it. Then you realize that he is actually not a smart person. But Nigeria is being led by morons. And so many people who believe that they were smarter or they themselves were smart people have been, God, watch this before I
want to say anything until I heard certain things on this floor. And I felt that we needed to clear that. I'm an Igbo man, and our people say that when the traditional healer is making medicine for the eye, that he shouldn't find pepper nearby. Because any pepper that goes into the eye means that that medicine will not work. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I want to talk specifically on the matter of whether people were being sent away. No Nigerian is being sent away from anywhere. Criminals are being sent away from the forest where they are. And so, when we now come here and say, some people, after doing this thing and they're sending people away, you send the wrong message out. The message is simple. The police IG has told us these are criminal elements coming from outside Nigeria. And what we should ask ourselves is, if somebody is a criminal and he is in the forest, what is he doing inside there? And we want to paper over matters of this nature to please whatever. What we want to say is simple. We either want to solve this problem, and in order to solve the problem, the desideratum is that all criminal elements that are coming into this country from wherever they are must be flushed out. Simply sit up. I would like to start by saying that perhaps the title or the caption of this motion should have been, instead of general insecurity in Nigeria, should be the menace of Fulani herdsmen in Nigeria. I say so because not quite too long ago, the Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence, was reported to have said that out of every 10 kidnappers arrested, 7 or 8 are Fulani. In fact, in my own local government, in the recent past, almost all the kidnappers, the highway robbers that have been arrested were all Fulanis. So, Mr. President, we must face this fact. Why is that so? It is because the Fulanis are being encouraged or are being allowed free rein in this country to do whatever they like. I will just tell you one short story. 3 weeks ago, I was informed that some Fulani people were having a conversation. One man is a cattle Fulani or a Fulani herdsman. The other 2 people are town Fulani or Fulani elites. The Fulani elites accuse the cattle Fulani of causing insecurity in the country, or especially in our local government, because they had abducted, they have kidnapped a district head, they have kidnapped a prominent community leader. And the cattle Fulanis replied them, he said, we have not read, we are not learned, we don't know anything. The only thing we know is our cows and grazing our cows in the bush. it is you, learned Fulani people, that buy guns and give us and send us on missions. So, Mr. President, we must face this fact that these people are being supported in high places. It must stop. Thank you very much.
Distinguished colleagues, let me in a group. Most of us know that people will say some of these people are not from Nigeria. Many people assert that we get people from outside the country. So I will advise that we stick to these criminal elements without calling Fulani, because Fulani is an ethnic group. They are not also spared. Many Fulanis are killed. So we need everybody on board in the fight to win against criminality. So I just want to guide us this way. Distinguished Senator Chimaroke Nnamani.
Thank you.
At this time. Mr. President, like my colleagues have said, we have a national crisis on our hands. And it's a national crisis that has been devoid of leadership, both politically and morally. And we must say it the way it is. We must say it the way it is. Mr. President, let me give you a little statistics. Between 2017 and May 2020, there have been 654 attacks, 2,539 killed, 393 wounded, 253 kidnapped, 16 raped, 7,582 homes destroyed. That is an analysis that has been done by a research firm that is based in Brussels on what has happened in this country. And I listen to us here. For us to be saying that they're not Nigerians, it's an indictment on our leadership. That people are coming into this country, they are maiming our people, they are killing our people, they are raping our people, and we are saying they are not Nigerians. And yet these are the same security people that we are now going to promote to be ambassadors of this country, representing this country. It's an indictment, and it's not acceptable. I represent a border community that's bordering some neighboring towns, neighboring countries. I went there over the weekend. The whole place has been destroyed by all these herdsmen. People's earnings, people's lives has been destroyed. People are.
I decided to play that as a reminder before I play you what Liar Mohammed had to say about the security problem in Nigeria and those they would like to blame. And you see the reason why they are playing this identity politics in Yoruba land is because some of these Yoruba Hallelujah boys from Lagos, APC, Abobaku boys, yeah, they look forward to these guys. They are those who are continuing to tell them, blame the Igbos, blame the Igbos. Igbos are the problem because this is what they feel. They cannot boldly say it the way it should be. A useless, shameless old man. Listen to him, what he had to say when he was asked.
Like IPOB, does not even recognize Nigeria as a state. Sets up its own army, and says it is a sovereign state. It's different from bandits and criminals. Please, don't compare apples with oranges.
But are they not threatening the sovereignty of Nigeria by taking arms against citizens of Nigerian state?
Security challenges is one thing. Challenging the very sovereignty of Nigeria is a completely different thing. Please, don't let's, don't let us dwell on what I call semantics. Yes, it's not like saying armed robbers. Armed robbers, don't they threaten security of lives and property? They do. Is that why is there anywhere in the world that armed robbers have been prescribed?
No, let's calm down. These are you classifying these persons as ordinary armed robbers?
Oh, they might be super armed robbers, but what do? They take what does not belong to them. They kill people in the process. I'm just using a very big example. Listen, let's get my argument clear. IPOB was not prescribed just because of the violence. IPOB was prescribed because IPOB as a group refuses to recognize the sovereignty of Nigeria as a country.
So all of you who are looking at these guys as intelligent people, that you think because they are intelligent, that is why they became whatever they have become. Did you listen to that? Fulani terrorists are super highway robbers or super armed robbers, whatever I call them. Let me listen to that again. Sorry.
Group like IPOB does not even recognize Nigeria as a state. Sets up its own army and says it is a sovereign state. It's different from bandits and criminals. Please, don't compare apples with oranges.
But are they not threatening the sovereignty of Nigeria by taking arms against citizens of Nigerian state?
Security challenges is one thing. Challenging the very sovereignty of Nigeria is a completely different thing. Please, don't let's, don't let us dwell on what I call semantics. Yes, it's not like saying armed robbers. Armed robbers, don't they threaten security of life and property? They do. Is that why is there anywhere in the world that armed robbers have been prescribed?
No, let's calm down. These are you classifying these persons as ordinary armed robbers?
Oh, they might be super armed robbers, but what do? They take what does not belong to them. They kill people in the process. I'm just using a very big example. Listen, let's get my argument clear. IPOB was not prescribed just because of the violence. IPOB was prescribed because IPOB as a group refuses to recognize the sovereignty of Nigeria as a country.
I hope you hear that again. IPOB was not prescribed. IPOB was not prescribed because they committed any violence. They were prescribed because they failed or refused to acknowledge the sovereignty of the country. Whatever that even means. I don't even know what that means. They are asking the government of Nigeria to let them conduct a referendum and they want to leave. It is the government of Nigeria that doesn't recognize their right to their own right for self-determination. It is Nigeria that doesn't recognize that. What does it even mean? By that. So, according to government, the way the government of Buhari see terrorists, the Fulani terrorists, they see them as super armed robbers who take what doesn't belong to them and kill people. They are just security challenges. But IPOB members are terrorists because they don't recognize the sovereignty of Nigeria. But they have not committed any violence, they have not done any violence, they have not committed any crime. But we have to proscribe them because they don't recognize us. But those who are killing people, come on, don't compare apple with oranges. These are the intelligent people that some of you are abusing us, Yoruba for Abi. So when you listen to Liar Mohammed now, you rate all of us Yoruba. You want to rate us as like this person. How many of you saw that video of Tifnumbu when he was talking about being the leader of all the progressives? And he was asking the Edo people to vote for Pastor Yamu. You remember that video? Some of you who have been reading a lot, have been told a lot about Tifnumbu. Some of you were like, oh boy. Now you realize that even Yoruba land, the political criminals in Yoruba land are leading, they are a bunch of rogues that are leading Yoruba land astray. Look at that person. Look at that, what you listen to. A government misinformation minister of Nigeria. They don't see those who are killing people as terrorists. That is why they are paying them. But they are seeing those, oh dear. I'm going to listen to what Senator Eyinaya Abaribe had to say. Watch this.
Because if they don't do it, I'm afraid, very, very afraid, that this may be the last government that will be in this country. Because right now, what you see is that every part of this country is getting ready to say,
resort to self-help.
Of course. And if everybody resort to self-help, then the essence of government at the center no longer is...
Yes. We talked about resort to self-help. We are seeing Amoteco in the southwest, Eastern Security Network in the southeast, taking over security responsibility. But that of the ESN is linked to IPOB and no legal backing. How will it fit into the security arrangement?
Well, let's just put it this way. There's also another Igbo proverb that says that it's only the tree that you come out with a knife and it will still stand there until you cut it down. Human beings react to situations, and so
that's self-preservation.
That is the first law of nature, self-preservation. And so you can't continue to wait for a legal thing, because the legal one is the police, the army, the civil defense, and so forth, and they're not doing anything. And so people now have a right, by the law of self-preservation, to go ahead and preserve themselves. You can call it Amoteku, you can call it ESN, you can call it anything.
Right, moral right, constitutional right?
It is a moral and a constitutional right. There's Section 39, I think, or so, of the Constitution says that you have a right to life. Nobody can come and take it away on the basis that you're waiting for people that will not come to assist you. And it's not just in Isukwato, it's happening all over Abia North, in Bende, in other areas. And they talk to me and they tell me this is what is going on. And my job is to stay here and call the IG, call the head of operations of the police and all that. And I say, please, this is what is happening here, what is going on. And I'm really very sorry to.
Self-defense. Your right to life is in their useless constitution. How come they are not letting you have that? Liar Mohammed said IPOB, that they started their own army, security platform. Miyetti Allah is bragging about with Miyetti Allah vigilante across Yoruba land, across Nigeria. They have ID card. They are carrying guns. Miyetti Allah is collecting subvention from government of Nigeria. When did Miyetti Allah become a part of the security of Nigeria? Oh, Miyetti Allah recognizes Bukwari's government as government, but IPOB does not recognize them as government. Therefore, IPOB have no right to defend themselves. But Miyetti Allah can provide security for all of us, where their policemen, their Nigerian army, as well as all their security agencies are providing private security for the criminals in their offices. So, well, you have every right to protect yourself. That is not a call for violence, okay? Those who are coming to kill you, attack you, take your life, they have no right to do that. The government is supposed to protect you. It is the right of government to protect you. But you know that the government is culpable too. And you will not wait for government to protect you. Protect yourselves. Liar Mohammed is a liar, a shameless one at that. A disgraceful, a shameless old man. But it is what it is. He has his own offsprings too. And they have the hallelujah boys here and there. Just like when God told our brother that he's going to be our uncle. You know him, that was going to be the president. Some of you have been reading the news. You saw suddenly, Fani Kayode, who knows this, before finally meeting.
Intimidation. The only way forward for this country, for each and every one of us now, is to join hands with the APC governors, join hands with Buhari, with Tinubu, join hands with Nuhu Ribadu, El Rufai, and all the others, and Samanda Isaiah, and so many others, and move this country forward and fight the PDP. And that is where I am as from today. Even those saner voices within the PDP itself, what I call the sane voices, the rational voices.
Do you get that? Rational voices, sane voices, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, and all of that. Don't worry. It is a flashback. Then one day, God just spoke to somebody to tell Egbon that Egbon will be president. And he saw the whole thing like, maybe God work in a miraculous way. Maybe I should just go back as a dog to go and eat my own vomito, eat my own shit, and then wait for my turn, because God is talking to me. I believe so. That is what Egbon Fani Kayode, after all the sojourn in the land of the wilderness, he met God, and this is what happened. And God is a wonderful God. And he works in a mysterious way too. And God has led him to this guy, who is also running to become president too. But somehow, I think they are going to work it out. Maybe Fani Kayode will be the presidential candidate. Yeye Bello will be the vice president, or the White Lion. Yeye Bello will be the presidential candidate. And Egbon Femi Fani Kayode will be what? But last, Baba is following his dream.
I have the mandate to mobilize, to sensitize, to educate, and woo Nigerians into the party, irrespective of their background. Our brother and friend, Chief Femi Fani Kayode, has joined our party in good faith. For the youth. He is joining our party to come and add his own positive energy and make contribution into ensuring that APC is a party to beat. Remember, Chief Femi Fani Kayode was a foundation member of this great party. Due to misunderstanding, he decided to port elsewhere before. Now he has decided to join our party, approached me, and by the mandate given to me by the party, I must not segregate. I must not discriminate against any individual, even if he has a different opinion about the party before, about the government before, and he has seen the light, the reality, and the need to join the All Progressives Congress. It is just nice. It is just important. It is just smooth and very, very sweet to accommodate and welcome Chief Femi Fani Kayode to come and join this party.
Yeah, welcome, sir. Anyway, it's just to remind you that if you don't know why Femi Fani Kayode is going to APC, he's following the voice of God. He's hearing something. Watch out for different epistles he's going to tell you. Now, I think I found the clip I wanted to share with you from the National Assembly. Let's try this first one. It is about what was in that document that they are signing with China on all these loans for all these trains, including the one that is now going to Niger Republic. Some of them are scary, but they have buried it like they will bury many others. But one day they will exhume them. Watch this. Let's see if it's possible.
Press, I welcome you to this second day hearing on the issue of agreement between Nigerians and China. This is my remark. Please, one house. One house, please. Honorable members, honorable ministers, head of departments and agencies of government, and other members of the public, I welcome you all to this resumed public hearing on the review of all Nigerian bilateral loans and contractual agreements. Before we proceed with the business of the day, I would like Nigerians and the general public to know that the House of Representatives Committee on Treaties, Protocols, and Agreements has an important role in reviewing and drawing the attention of federal government to content issues relating to due process, compliance with extant laws, transparency, accountability, local content provisions, procurement process, drawdown/disbursement schedules, management/commitment fees, issues and repayment mechanism of these loans, and commercial contracts agreements in line with our constitutional mandate. The National Assembly, through this committee, will work to ensure that proper due diligence is taken by various MDAs before, during, and after negotiations through signing of all bilateral loans and contractual agreements. We believe that both the government and Nigerians appreciate the fact that bilateral loans agreements are not just about infrastructural development, but also a matter of national interest and national security, because the future of our children and unborn children are involved. As such, the effort of this committee to review the status of these agreements to ensure that it is done with the best interests of the Nigerian people in focus, monitor the progress of its operation, management, and administration by the relevant agencies of government, in line with the terms of the agreements, and recommend a more transparent and open process in accordance with our enabling laws and international best practices, should be seen by all stakeholders in Nigerian projects as a welcome development. Based on public statements and reporting alone, especially since our last meeting here, we have heard and seen comments and analysis of major television networks and national dailies by key actors, which have not accurately conveyed the severity of the issues and what the current structure of the loan/contract agreements may portend for our nations if not properly planned and managed well. We have heard some people ask why we are focusing on only Chinese-related loans and commercial contracts. We would like Nigerians to know that we aren't focusing on only Chinese loans. From what we know, Nigeria has over 500 bilateral loans and commercial contracts agreements and investment treaties with different countries and institutions. There is no way the committee will do a thorough job without segmenting the issues based on countries, institutions, or MDAs. Thus, it must be clearly noted that this is not targeted at only China, neither was it during implementation and at the end of implementation. That's why we are the watchdog to other arms of government. From our experience, the MDA signed these commercial agreements in billions of dollars, then go to the President and Federal Executive Council for approval to execute, including securing loan facility through Ministry of Finance and Debt Management Office, and then proceed to negotiate terms of this loan before coming back to Mr. President, who then write to the National Assembly asking for approval for billions of dollars to do projects without attaching negotiated loans and commercial contracts agreement details. That's why we're on this job. This has been the practice by successive governments, not only APC government, so that people don't look at it as a party issue. The National Assembly have assumed the authority to deal with the issues now and for all. That's why we're on this mission. So it cannot be blamed to the APC government alone. And that's why I say, my colleagues, these are not an PDP, APC issue. It's the issues of Nigeria that we must deal with, so that the general public should know that. This approach is the reason we have a government representative signing empty pages of loans agreement repayment schedule and other key documents required for the loans agreement to become effective. We have commercial contracts signed in US dollar, while the loan agreement for the execution of the same contracts were signed in Chinese yuan currency in the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy / Galaxy Backbone Limited. We have also seen reference made in the commercial contract regarding BOQs, but none of the commercial contracts agreements submitted to us, especially by Ministry of Transportation, has a single BOQ attachment. We have noticed from documents available to us that commercial contract prices signed by Federal Ministry of Transportation alone, within this is over 33 billion US dollars, without any clear-cut financing arrangements. Most of these commercial contracts agreements didn't also have local content clauses and were witnessed by non-properly designated and authorized officials who have checked the documents, where even a deputy director signed when there's a director of that office, where also other officials sign without designations. We have also seen those. The documents are here. There are also observable issues relating to procurement process, evidence of 15% advance payments, payment of management fees, drawdown process, and remittance, and a whole lot of other matters, which we are strongly poised to ask questions on and hopes to get honest answers that will fine-tune the current process. Plans for possible renegotiations of some of these agreements in order to serve Nigerians better. We also witnessed where a senior person from ministries of foreign affairs in Chinese government makes some comment that those clauses doesn't matter. So that calls for renegotiations, and let them remove those clauses that doesn't matter. So these are some of the issues we will be asking questions about and seeking clarifications from both the negotiators, managers, and end users, stroke implementing agencies. Lenders and the contractors enable Nigeria to understand everything relating to these bilateral loans and contractual agreements. On all major infrastructure projects being executed by the government, we believe that we can't keep approving loans without asking relevant questions and address these practices which date back, as I said, not only APC government, but successive government in Nigeria. I'm a PDP man. It existed during PDP time, and it's continued to exist even now, and worse. I therefore would like to use this opportunity to call on key actors and all stakeholders to stop the politicization of what we are doing here. For us, if you believe in the progress and sustainable development of our country, then you should naturally cooperate with the works of this committee to see to it that there is guarantee of value for money in all government expenditures and borrowing plans, as well as government policies, programs, and projects. I want to sincerely thank my honorable distinguished colleagues, the honorable ministers who have honored the well-constituted institutions, DGs of agencies, parastatals, and the pressmen and women. I want to thank you for listening. Section 16(1), page 13, under the loan content obligation of the contractor. Article 16(1) stated, the contractor shall develop and submit to the employer Ministry of Transport for its approval a local content plan for the training and engagement of Nigerian labor force in all aspects of the contractor works on the project. It contains in that agreement. Can you provide this honorable committee with satisfied copies of labor plan, training programs carried out, and beneficiaries, and evidence of number of Nigerians working in all aspects of this project vis-à-vis their Chinese counterpart as provided in that agreement document?
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I've been trying to manage myself since you made your speech, so I'll give you a slight response to your speech and I'll answer your question. The slight response to your speech is that I will repeat here that we need to be more patriotic than we have been. Mr. Chairman. Point of order, Mr. Chairman. No, sir. I have a right to speak.
Please,
I'm giving him right because you invited me.
I'm giving him right to speak.
You have invited me. I was once a member of the House, so I know the right of the guest that you invited. Now, Mr. Chairman, if you say Minister of Transport had a contract of 33 billion, we want to see it. Because as Minister for Transport, the only contract we've awarded so far is $1.6 billion contract for Lagos-Ibadan, which is under threat. Can
you speak to the questions I asked you now? You see, I told you from the beginning.
I have a choice.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
I have two choices.
Please.
You gotta let me speak, or I stop.
Excuse me. We are guided by rules. And
sir.
I'm coming. Just a minute.
Mr. Chairman.
I'm coming. Just a minute.
Guidance, please.
Just a minute. Just a minute. Please, just a minute. This is rules which we obey. From day one, I said when we ask questions, we will time, you answer the question directly.
it won't answer the question. I'm going to draw the curtains at that point. But remember, the reason why we are asking them, what makes, despite all the plans they have for the other part of Nigeria, as they have always been plans and plans and plans that they push forward, what makes it so economically viable for Nigeria to borrow money from China with an agreement written in Mandarin? People said interpreters and all of that stuff, but we know the devil is buried in detail. You know that. However, what makes it viable? What makes the economic viable for Nigeria to spend nearly $2 billion that they are borrowing and going to devalue their naira for? And Nigeria is actually, even if they want to invest anything in Niger Republic, Chad, and all these places, Nigeria should be investing in building border, controlling the border there. If Nigeria can invest half of our money they are stealing for security and fighting Boko Haram, fighting Fulani terrorists and all of that, or pretending to be fighting them, if they use half of that money to ensure security at the borders, build border lines, new border lines for a giant of Africa that has no border, where terrorists just stroll in and stroll out. You know what I'm talking about? There was even a time that the president of Chad led his own army into Nigeria territory, into Borno state, until Buratai, the butcher, flew down to Borno to tell them that it was illegal for the president of Chad to lead soldiers into Nigeria. That is how porous the border of Nigeria is with these countries. Now they want to build train. Maybe they will make Niger Republic their 20th state in the northern Nigeria when Nigeria finally breaks up. I'm going to draw the curtains here, guys, tonight. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Okay, share the video, like the video, and then subscribe. I'm going to see you some other time. To my Yoruba brothers, I'll leave you with this. To everyone else, temporarily, make sure you do this before you leave.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Tí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Òkúra olóṣèlú. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.